White pops it up behind the plate. Does Lento have any room? He does not. It hits to the stands to the right of us. I saw Randy Mobley over there not too long ago, the president of the International League.
I think he's still over there, Randy. Yeah, he is.
0-1 the count, one out here in the top of the fifth inning. There is the commish, the prez, if you will, of the International League.
His son Reed played here.
That one is lined down the right field side, and that is a foul ball by mere inches off the bat of Jared White.
Good effort by White. Fastball away, and he tried to stay on that, drove it down the line. That could have been 3 bases the way that ball was tailing. If it had hit in fair territory, could have gone all the way into that corner. And now we have action in the bullpen for Jerome.
And Tyler Keiss is playing catch out there. Somebody off the hill. And Eric put on the specs.
Because I need them, Randy.
You're old, you know.
Nick Sobel.
0-2 the count.
Sobel's a sophomore, pitcher infielder.
Johnson's fastball tails outside the zone. Tell you what I like when I see from Neil Johnson. You look at his frame, 6'8", 215 pounds. And there's Nick, who likes math in the Spanish club. Next pitch. Wave and a miss. And nothing but air that time for Jared White. He's a strikeout victim and a second out in the top of the fifth inning of play.
Good curveball there by Johnson. He keeps it away from White. He had thrown the fastball away that White had driven down the line for a foul ball earlier in the count, and then he comes back with the breaking ball in the same spot, but it disappears. Second strikeout for White, third in the game for Neil Johnson.
That one is swung at by Williams. Does it have eyes? Yes, it does. Bryan gets a base hit, just plops that over the shortstop. Robert Phillips for a base hit, so a 2-out single. And we see a base hit to the outfield, something that's been a rarity here today, although not that deep into the outfield.
The shortstop almost fielded it on one bounce in the outfield.
It'd be funny if he makes a play at first then, huh? Here's Eric Robbins now, top of the order we go. A walk his first go-round and a swinging strikeout so far this contest, so officially 0 for 1. And time is called.
Twin barrels now in the bullpen for Dublin Jerome, and I think part of the issue is, remember Neil Johnson went 7 innings on Friday, which was just 2 days of rest against Grove City. We talked about that in the opener. He got the decision in that 3-2 win by Dublin Jerome. He only gave up 5 hits. So he might be getting a little bit tired out there after that effort on Friday.
Popped up foul and out of play. And also warming up in the bullpen is a lefty. That is Drew Whitson, son of Ed Whitson. Of course, a longtime major leaguer for 15 years. There he is on the left from the port side. 15 years in the bigs. And throw to first and back in time is Brian Williams. Well, I remember Ed Whitson for a number of reasons. Making it to the World Series, an All-Star game. I remember watching live on TBS a certain game they had as well, to the Padres and the Braves. Tell you what, I love the Superstation for games like that. It was a bit of an emotional game, too. And never forget the game, too, when Mr. Camp came to the plate, remember, for the Braves, and they extended a game, and I think they played till like 4 in the morning in a contest. And then they had fireworks scheduled, so they did fireworks for the morning. The runners trapped between first and second. They've got them caught in a pickle now. See if they run them all the way back and apply the tag. Ed Johnson. And finally, the tag is applied, and it's a knockdown. Ben Sword gets 3 points for the near fall. And that'll do it. We've seen everything in this contest. We move on. It's still 1-0 Celtics here on CSN. Well, we mentioned that Ed Whitson is the pitching coach here at Dublin Jerome. There is his baseball card during his tenure in the bigs back when he was with the Padres. The Pirates, the Giants, the Indians, the Padres, the Yankees, the Padres again. You can see his mark, 126, 123, all the teams that he played for that I mentioned. And here's a guy that was a lot of fun to watch as a baseball player. I mentioned it made it to the All-Star game as well, too. In the World Series. Yep, World Series in '84. Look at that big bender. That thing took a year and a half to get there. Some changes defensively. Down at third base, Derek Landis goes from first to third, and it looks like Alex Mays is back from his college visit because number 5 is down at first base. So you have to assume that Mays, they call him Corn, but he's down at first base. Looking for a can of corn down there. There's Alex. Great basketball player as well, too, and a great leaper at 6'4".
I hope his visit went well. I hope him coming back early is not a sign of the visit. Robbins is bouncing him up there, flipping him up there, but Randy, he's only given up the 1 run on 3 hits.
See what Robert Phillips has done so far. By the way, the play to end the top of the 5th inning with Brian Williams on board. We'll recap that here in just a second. Going 1-3-6-1-4. Again, that winning 5 combination, 1-3-6-1-4. Hit across, up and down. You're a winner. And called out on strikes. Here's Robert Phillips. So the leadoff man in the batting order has struggled to get on now. 0 for 3 in this contest. 1 out now for Jared King, who's been on twice. In fact, he has accounted for the only run in this contest. He was hit by a pitch, and 3 wild pitches brought him home.
Well, that was a curveball to Phillips that started up and out of the strike zone, but broke in very nicely, and Rod Sink was all over that, ringing up Phillips. Phillips was trying to sell that it was a ball, but Sink saw it cross the plate.
King tries to wait on it. Tough play in the triangle out there. Who's going to make it? Nobody. Shortstop going on. That's a tough play for Brian Williams. Philip Moon has a better read on that coming in, but trying to gauge the breeze. It falls in between him, and for the 3rd time today, Jared King is aboard, and progressively he's hit the ball further. And now he's got a chance to plate another run. He's on at first base with 1 out, and Ben Swart comes to the plate, swinging strikeout victim, and also has a base hit in this contest.
Now, Philip Moon replaced the center fielder Kyle Mish, went to left field. We talked about that last inning. Ben Williams moved over to center, so Philip Moon is just in his 2nd inning out there. I don't think he got a good read off the baseball, or off the bat, excuse me.
Info on Ben so far in this contest. Now with a runner on, 1 out. Tries to wait on that breaking ball. Sends that over to the Celtic dugout.
He's not happy with himself. He knows that on those off-speed pitches, he has to read him out of the hand and just stay back and try to drive it. Now he takes a look at Chris Huseman down at 3rd base. Wondering if there's going to be a hit and run.
That one misses. Well, we talked about Robbins, too, with what he has offered you. Fastball, curve, changeup, knuckleball, knuckle curve, over the top, sidearm, between the legs, around the back. Throw to first. Yeah, a couple pickoffs thrown as well, too. And Jared King back in time.
Well, interesting, Randy. We've talked about it several times today, but the lone run in the ball game was scored when the runner at first, Jared King, was hit by a pitch, moved to 2nd on a wild pitch, 3rd on a wild pitch, and scored on a wild pitch. So without the benefit of a hit, Mr. Robbins is doing a fine job out there, but still finds himself in a hole 1-0.
Both teams 1-3 in the OCC Cardinal. The Celtics 4-7 overall, and that one is fouled off. Trying to wait on that ball, and just got a piece of that one as King was running on the play. Westerville South at 6-3, also 1-3 in league competition. The other thing I like when you throw out numbers about Westerville South is the team GPA is a mere 3.8. 3.8. It's incredible, the student athletes they produce there. They have that international baccalaureate program at Westerville South. I think Upper Arlington uses that as well, too. Talked about Mr. Moon out there in left field. I think he's got a GPA of close to 5.
That's stout.
Yeah, you can see what's happened so far in this contest. Some hits, some walks, some guys plunked, some guys caught stealing, some wild pitches. Somebody thrown out at the plate. A wave and a tag on the 3rd strike. But on the play, the runner advances down to 2nd base. So there's 2 outs. And it's strikeout number 3 now in this contest. 2nd time that Swart's gone down on strikes, and 2 outs for Alex Schilling.
Pruitt just can't hold on to it. I think if he comes up and tries to make the throw there, maybe they call interference on the batter, but he couldn't get a good grasp on it.
So here's Schilling. Schilling walked and popped out in this contest. And again, don't sit back and wait for that base hit necessarily if you're watching this game. You just never know what these 2 coaches will do. We talked about manufacturing runs. We thought it would be key in this contest. Westerville South had that good batting average, but you know, look at a mark of 6-3. I think Tim Bates is looking for more out of his team, although it's a very young squad. Chris Huseman's team is even younger. Remember, he's replacing 13 seniors from last year and 15 players altogether. That is hard to do and just turn around in one season.
It really is. And that's amazing that, you know, they have been able to put together a week like they did last week. You mentioned 3-1. Now is the time that you want to start putting it together. You're about mid-season, 11 games into the season, 10 games for Westerville South, and this is the time when you want to start heading toward that peak.
Next pitch stays high from Robinson. How about the job, too, by Eric Robbins?